listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hello, thanks for joining us today. My name is Jackie Paget-Baird.
And I'm Dr. Vicky Arcady.
And we are Flush Your Fat for Good to be lean and healthy for life. This is not a diet. This is a lifestyle for a lifetime. And I always say, flush your fat for good, be lean and healthy for life, because it's not just about losing fat. That's what everybody wants to do, and that's one of the reasons why people start diets and things like this. However, if you are over fat, and they say 20 pounds over fat, now you're linked to over 20 health conditions. So being over fat is, in many ways, can be considered a health condition. So,
yeah, people say, oh, I'm only 20 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
That's way too much.
Or no, I got to get these last 40 off, but I'm not worried about it. You need to be worried about it.
And fat doesn't weigh much.
Right.
So when you are 20 pounds over fat, you don't know, you probably have a lot more than 20 pounds of fat on you.
Right, exactly, because
in
bone
reality,
and muscle weighs more.
Right.
The thing is, when you really are sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and fat,
we're the girls for you.
Here we are. Ta-da! This is why we wrote the book, Flush Your Fat for Good, Be Lean and Healthy for Life. We want this to get around. We're actually have our lifestyle being utilized in 5 different countries, but we want it to spread out a lot more because America is number 1 in obesity now, which is ridiculous. Because that was, not too long ago, that was Mexico.
Well, yeah, it was Mexico for a long time.
For a long time.
And I think the last few years it's been the United States, which is embarrassing. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, the second lead of it's a disgrace. But the second leading cause of death in America is type 2 diabetes.
Yes.
Now let's just wrap your brain around this. In the 1900s, cancer was like 3%, I believe. And that's because the number 1 cause of death in the 1900s was pneumonia.
Right.
Right? We didn't have antibiotics. So cancer was 3%. Cancer, what?
Very few people died of cancer.
Right.
Very rare that you heard about that.
Yeah, no, I actually watched the shows, Egyptian and the pyramids.
Yeah, it was
and all that
non-existent
stuff.
in Egypt.
Practically.
Yeah.
I mean, So if in the 1900s cancer was 3%, and we got antibiotics to take care of the number 1 cause of death, which was pneumonia and infections, what the hell happened?
Yep.
How did cancer just get totally out of control? And it was not too long ago, the number 1, first it was heart disease, cardiovascular disease was the number 1 cause. Then it was cancer, then it was autoimmune, then it was, started coming down to the point where now it's obesity, which is now a disease state, and type 2 diabetes. This is ridiculous.
Well, according to Dr. Royal Lee, who is the founder of Standard Process Labs, which is about almost 100 years old now in existence, he said the original issue that started all of this was high fructose corn syrup. When they developed corn syrup to add it to the foods, that's what started it.
And I would say that they started feeding grains to cows instead of grass-fed cows because of the conjugated linoleic acid.
And urbanization, because if you had flour, you would get your wheat fresh, and you'd go to the mill and you'd grind it, and you would bring it back and put it in your pantry, but it wouldn't last very long. It would last a few days. Right. But in that wheat, unrefined and in its raw state ground, you had the wheat germ. The wheat germ was totally responsible for, it contains octocosanol, which helps your heart. It prevents heart disease. So many people who ate the raw wheat, the grains like that, early on, they didn't have much heart disease, and they were more active.
And they couldn't keep it very long because the bugs would eat it.
So they had to refine it. So they bleached it, and they ground it, and they turned it white so they could store things. They started storing food on the shelves for long periods of time. That's where it started.
And not only that, but I mean, you would see corn stalks and wheat stalks very, very high, up to 6-7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Now they've completely modified them down real small.
GMO.
Yeah. So artificial sweeteners, dyes, partially hydrogenated oils. It used to be butter.
Man-made.
Butter was what we all would eat.
Yes.
Then they turned it over to margarine.
Right. They tweaked it.
Yeah.
Made a fake
which is
butter.
It won't even melt in a room temperature like butter will.
Right.
And then they realized that is dangerous for your cardiovascular system. So then they said, no, you got to go back to butter.
So it was man-made. So what's your saying? What's your famous saying?
If God made it, eat it. If man made it, read it. I wrote that somewhere in this book.
That's in the book. That is, that's it. If man made it,
eat it.
No, man made it, read it.
No, if God made it, eat it. If man made it, read it. And the problem is when you start reading it, most likely you're going to throw it out.
And you probably cannot even pronounce the words.
Right. On the back of some of the ice cream cards. When I was shopping, I'd take the kids shopping. It was a nightmare. My kids. And they're shy, and they're very contained and controlled.
Oh, right.
Not. So, but they go, Mom, can we have this? Mommy, can I have this? Mommy. So I figured out, as they're trailing me in the cart, because we got to get home, we got a baseball game, we got to do this, you got to get to the homework, we got to do this. So they go, can we have this, can we have that? And they'd try to throw it into the cart, and I would just say, as I'm mowing down the aisle, I'd say, I don't know, read it. So, even when that's how Savannah learned to read.
That's true.
They start saying something, and they'd say, okay, it's this, it's that.
They learned to read labels.
Yeah,
right away.
And then the third one was something like
sugar.
Sugar or maltodextrin, or how do you say partially hydrogenate? I said, nah, no.
Put it back.
So that was my education for my kids, to try to get them to quit bugging me.
Keep them busy.
But the bottom line is, all these things, when these kids are being fed junk food on a regular basis, which we talked
about. We went over that last week.
Yeah, I think it was last week.
Well, one of these weeks.
One of them. They're all coming together.
You can go on YouTube and look for our past podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
It's on. We have a YouTube channel, Flush Your Fat for Good. And we also have it on our website, flushyourfatforgood.com. And we have a private Facebook buddies room, Flush Your Fat for Good Buddies private Facebook room.
Which this is being aired live right now.
Yes.
So
hi, everybody. Hi, buddies.
So, shout out to you, buddies.
Yes.
We call everybody in our Facebook room that has joined our movement here, Flush Your Fat for Good.
Yes.
And you can go to the website, flushyourfatforgood.com. First thing it'll pop up will say, this is not a diet.
Mm-hmm.
This is not anything that you've ever seen before. This is a lifestyle for a lifetime. And you'll see a beautiful picture of a bridge. I looked forever for a picture of a bridge that, because a picture speaks 1,000 words. So I wanted people to understand, when you diet, when you yo-yo, when you go on and off, when you restrict yourself, when you have certain foods sent to you and you eat them, and then when you stop, all this weight comes back on you, and it's back and forth, which is very dangerous for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you cross over the FYF for Good bridge, and you'll see it on the website when you go there, there's a light at the end of that bridge. Mm-hmm. And it's really, I always say, cross over the FYF for Good bridge and never look back.
Yeah.
Because you should not have to struggle your whole entire life with cravings,
No.
with being hungry all the time.
Or fat.
Or 3 different sizes of clothes in your closet.
Shouldn't have to struggle like that.
You know, at being scared that, oh my God, it's 2 months before my event coming up, my daughter's getting married, my kids at the baptism or whatever.
Or going to the grocery store and dreading getting out of the car because your knees are going to kill you.
Right.
And you can barely walk.
Or it's even worse than that, where you're embarrassed to get out of the car because you're afraid to walk up to the store.
Right.
You have to get into the cart.
Yes.
And when you have type 2 diabetes as the second cause of death in America, you know something's wrong. You know that. And for America to be the fattest nation in the world, again, you know there's something wrong there.
Yes.
And it really was something when Kathleen Powell and her sister Jennifer Powell, Jennifer's one of our coaches, actually Kathleen is now, but she knew that we were putting together a book, trying to write it and get it out there as fast as possible. And she said, you know, I've lost 100 pounds. My sister has shared this with me, changed my life. I want to help you girls get this book off the ground. So you will see when you guys go to Amazon.com, okay, type in the title, Flush Your Fat for Good. Don't forget the number 4, and it's right by the G. You'll see that we got it done. We got the book done, and it's not just it's a blueprint. It's like the physical Bible for it. We call, you know, people have their own religion, they have their own faith, and they're in touch with their own soul and their God. And to me, what we've done here is we're teaching you how to feed yourself the way God made your body, according to biochemistry and physiology, and we call it like a physical Bible. The workbook on our website, and you'll see, we'll talk about that a little bit later, is like a roadmap. It's, no, that's the wrong word.
No, it's
just
like
instructions.
a manual. It's like a manual.
It's a manual. But all the philosophy,
Quick
all of the
reference.
information, all of the science, all of the reasoning,
The
and
whys.
how, the whys. To know how is to know why.
Mm-hmm.
And this book, I just got an email from someone this morning. It was a great way to wake up.
Yeah.
Because it was saying, I have this woman at work, she's a co-worker, and
From one of our coaches. Is this,
yeah, one of our coaches. And she says, I'm really excited. I have a co-worker. She had a heart attack, and she was a smoker. And so she decided to give up smoking, which was a good thing because many people don't always do that.
No.
It's bad. But of course, it made her gain 25 pounds.
Yes.
And so this gal, she loaned her our book. And she couldn't put it down. She said she stayed up late reading it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I got
That's
that today.
really great.
And she said she decided to take it to the doctor, and the doctor said, this seems like a very good diet to get those 25 pounds off of you. And she quickly said to him, no, doc, this is not a diet. You know, this is a lifestyle for a lifetime. And so, you know, when
we didn't even pay her to do that.
No. God, what can we get if we did pay her?
Yeah.
When we say flush your fat for good, be lean and healthy for life, we're talking about being lean. Of course, you want to get rid of your adipose tissue and your visceral fat, which is surrounding your organs and in your gut. You want to build your lean muscle mass and strengthen your bone density. But you want to be healthy. You want digestion, absorption, and elimination to be at optimal functioning.
Yep.
Nobody talks about this.
No.
Nobody is, sharing with you on a daily basis or in any diet that you go to. I bet you 10 to 1, they don't say, so Mary, how many bowel movements have you had today? They don't do that.
No.
We do. And we talk about it in the book. It's a whole chapter on your bowels, which
And
is...
if you're Italian, you probably do it too.
Yeah.
Your whole family does it.
But you don't know what you're talking about. So we're going to do a little segment. This is the Did You Know That with Dr. Vicki, and she's going to share with you why we say be lean and healthy for life by flushing your fat for good.
Yeah. Okay, well, this segment is going to be a little more interactive.
Yeah.
But I went on the internet and our laptop's off for some reason.
Oh, to the engineer, Sam, our laptop is off.
It's off, but it's okay. When I went on the internet to search, what can I do to be healthier, right? That's what I put in there. And voila, there it is.
See, he's the man.
Yes. I came up with something from the NIH, the National Institute of Health.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases.
Wow. That's a good find.
And it says here, changing your habits for better health. Okay? So they were talking about, it says, have you been trying to cut back on less healthy foods? Are you starting to eat better and move more, but having a hard time sticking with these changes? I mean, everybody knows that they have to do these things.
Well, they talk about it everywhere.
But they know. People know they have to eat healthy. People know they have to move, be more active, exercise if possible.
But do they really know okay, look.
But the problem is they don't know how to eat healthy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So, and they have habits, and you have paradigms, which we talk a lot about.
And cravings.
You have paradigms that you were raised with, and you feel like you have to continue to eat the foods that your ancestors passed on you to eat, and it's a habit. It's not really, it's a paradigm, but it also becomes a habit.
It's part of your culture too.
Yes, if like with me, we always had these traditional dishes that are Italian, a lot of pasta, a lot of raviolis, a lot of this, a lot of that, and today I don't eat that stuff. I mean, we used to have it twice, pasta 2 or 3 times a week. I don't have that now. It's not good food to eat. Okay, it's just not. So I looked at this article, and the National Institute of Health talks about how if you don't adapt a new healthy habits, which we call lifestyle, then you will have health problems like obesity and diabetes. Well, we just talked about that.
Right.
But they came up with these stages. Okay, it's very interesting. The first stage, and a lot of it's true, the first stage that people go through, like this woman, she probably had gone through some of these stages already, but this is why we're doing this. We don't want you to, God forbid, have a heart attack.
No.
And then say, okay, or continue to smoke and say, okay, I got to do something, now.
Right.
Now that it's happened. And the first stage, it says 4 stages of changing a health behavior, which is number 1, contemplation. And contemplation is, I'm thinking about it. Which people are going to contemplate. They're going to think about it, And a lot of times when we mention this, or a lot of our buddies talk to their family and friends, they mention flesh or fat for good, and they said, I'll think about it.
Right.
They contemplate, okay? And this is the first stage where you're thinking about change and becoming motivated to get started. And in this stage, you're not really ready to start, but you're going to think about it, right? You're not sure you can overcome the roadblocks. You have these roadblocks in your mind, which I'm going to cover in a minute. We'll cover that. Okay, but at least you're going to think about it. That's a good start.
It's come to the forefront of your mind that something has to happen.
Now, their next stage they call preparation, where you're making plans and thinking of specific ideas that will work for you. And this is a stage they call that you've decided that you're going to change and you're ready to take action. I don't call that preparation. I would rather call that commitment. You make a commitment. because you have decided that you're going to change and you're ready to take action. So that to me is
if you've made up your mind.
Yeah, it's a commitment. It's
Well,
not
they're
preparation.
thinking you're making a preparation to find out what you should be doing.
Well, like they said, preparation, the heading here is preparation, I have made up my mind to take action. To me, that's commitment. You're committing to do this.
Yeah.
I like commitment better. It's a stronger word. Preparation is like, maybe
let me prepare
I
to
can get
do-
out of this,
Right. No, you didn't do that.
The next stage is action. That's a wimpy word.
Yeah.
The next stage is action. I have started to make changes. This is the stage where you are acting on your plan and making the changes you set out to achieve. Like you've been making eating, physical activity, and other behavioral changes in the last 6 months.
Right.
So these are people that have started. And, like we always say, just start. You don't have to read the whole book or read the whole workbook or get all the food and get,
Try to just incorporate one or two of it to get started.
For example, you could just start with the fruit every morning. That's your breakfast.
Yeah. Now, there's two different kinds of people. Some people will, ease into it. And then there's people like me.
Right. Well,
I mean, do or die. It's going to happen now. I want the fat off like yesterday. I want to feel better.
And this is your action step right here. You get this, and you get this, and you get these, and you drink your cran flush, and you're in action.
Right.
The last stage they call is maintenance, where you're saying to yourself, I have a new routine. Well, you say, I have a new lifestyle.
Right.
In our,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And it says, in this final stage, you become used to the changes, and you've kept them up for more than 6 months. So 6 months down the road, you could be a lot thinner.
Or you're bound to feel better.
Oh, you're going to definitely
Yeah.
feel better,
Mhm.
and you're not going to want to stop. Okay, so here's the roadblocks, which we hear all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time.
I don't have time.
So many
Right.
people say, oh, I can't tell you how many times I heard that.
Yeah.
I don't have time for this. Oh, I have to get these different foods and I have to do this, and I don't have time for that. I have to go to, get some cranberry. I don't have time to go over it, right? I don't have time to read the book. I don't have time to read the workbook. I don't have time to go to the website. Well, what you have to do, if you're out there contemplating, you're in the first stage of contemplation, how important is your health? I always say, if your health goes down, the whole world stops turning. Your life stops on a dime. Nothing else matters.
Right.
That's it. So make it a priority. That's the contemplation that you should really think about, is making it a priority.
Well, people live in denial. And there's many people saying, yeah, I want to do this. This is another one. This sounds great. I want to do this, but I just can't get it started right now.
Right.
Or I really like it. I'm ready. I'm going to wait till after the vacation. I'm going to wait till
after the holidays.
Yeah, or the weekend's coming up. I'm going to go for it.
On Monday.
I deal with this with a couple of clients where I'm going to start Monday, and then I find out, so how'd your weekend go? Total binging. Now,
It has to start now.
But, right. In our book, we have a chapter on paradigms.
Yes.
And how you can you have to have a paradigm shift.
Yes.
But the mindset, Stockholm Food Syndrome,
Right.
is real. And that's one of our, quotes or comments or statement or whatever you want to call it, that we made up. It's called Stockholm Food Syndrome because we see so many people, especially when they know they're going to start Monday, and on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's like they're saying goodbye to a bad lover.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I'm just going to go and, go wild with this guy because I know I'm never going to see him again, right? And it could be violent, dangerous, it could be, damaging.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. I'm never going to see him again. I'm just going to have a whirlwind.
Right.
Well, this is what people do with food.
And they know it's going to hurt them.
Yeah.
They know
Right.
that it's going to really hurt them badly, really badly. They're going to get sick. They might vomit. The whole works.
And here's another situation, since we're at the commitment, you change preparation to commitment, right? Commitment is when you are done. You are sick and tired of looking at yourself and seeing that you know you can look better, that you can feel better.
Yep.
You know it. Or you want it. You don't.
You make a decision.
Maybe you don't know that you can look better and feel better, but you want to make a decision to try.
Exactly. The decision is a
Okay,
big deal.
and in that point,
yes.
right at that moment in
Yes.
time, it doesn't matter if you're in the middle of getting ready for a wedding.
No.
And you've got this gorgeous dress and you're going and you got a hot date, or you're going with your spouse or whatever, and you're going to be at that wedding. In your mind, if you see all the food and an incredible spread and you're looking at it, and is your mind really like, I'm going to eat up everything here because tomorrow I'm starting my diet? But what happens is you have the next week to try to get all that food out of you because it's putrefying, it's created.
It's hurting you. It's hurting
It's stuck in your gut.
It's hurting your organs.
Yeah,
your
it's
gallbladder,
created
your
inflammation.
pancreas.
It's jacked up your sugar.
Yes.
It's giving you headaches. It's slowing you down. Your liver becomes toxic. Everything
mess.
goes wrong after that one day over the weekend that
Right.
you decide. But that's the mindset, and we understand it.
We get
So I can't get upset at my client. I can just tell her or him that, okay, that's Stockholm Food Syndrome. You thought you were just never going to see this person again,
Right.
these foods again. So go ahead.
Well, that's the next one is healthy habits cost too much. And you know what?
That's not true at all.
Healthy habits are money in the bank.
Yes.
Because if you consider your life and your health and your well-being and your energy and sleeping and just your quality of life, healthy habits do not cost too much. And I will say that we have heard over and over again, and people email us or put it on in our Facebook room, hey, I've been on this for 3 months and eating according to the lifestyle, and our grocery bill is so much lower.
Yeah.
Our groceries are minimal. Why? Because fresh fruit and vegetables do not cost a lot of money. They do not, even if they're organic. Today, we went over this before in another podcast. It's comparable and comparable to commercial pesticide produce.
Right. And now they have it everywhere. You can buy it at Costco, you can buy it at Walmart.
Right.
And really, basically, you're not buying the junk food anymore, that the food industry has figured out how to make you addicted to it.
And that's way more expensive.
That's way more. It
packaged
doesn't
food.
last as long. Jacks up your blood sugar to where you want more other junk.
And it's dead food.
Right.
I heard
Yeah.
I heard on the news that packaged food sales are down.
Really?
Yeah. So I think the world is starting to
get it. We're making a difference.
Right. So and they mention in here that they're putting exercise in this category, but you don't do that. We recommend walking. We'll get down to that in a minute, more in depth. But the next one is I can't make this change alone. Well, we've solved that.
Yes.
We understand that totally, and we solved that. We have the buddy system. We have our private Flush Your Fat for Good Buddies Facebook group, which you go on your Facebook page and you request, type in the search box, Flush Your Fat for Good Buddies, and just request to join. And we will get the request and then add
You have to
your
answer a
rooms.
few little questions,
Yes.
and then you get
And
in.
there's rules in the room.
And you can go to our website too, look it over, see what it's all about, and there's a request on the website as well.
And let me just tell you, the room is safe. If anybody does not have total respect, total consideration, and they misbehave in that room, we give them one chance, 1 or 2 chances, and if they mess up and they aren't listening and they aren't behaving,
It's because it's a
It has
culture.
to be. It has to be a safe
Right,
place.
and we've developed a culture of caring. By the way, that word was phrase. I was looking for, not quote or
Term.
commit.
I was going to say
no,
term.
no, it's Stockholm Food Syndrome is a phrase
It's a phrase.
that we made up.
But
Anyway, what I was going to say is it's a culture of caring. These are
Yes.
people that they want to be part of a group where they're supported, they're cheered on. We have over 100 coaches that'll answer questions.
24/7.
Yeah, we actually have, just on a sideline, a new coaching course that we have created for the coaches to get recertified, so we keep them abreast of all that's going on. And
Or anybody to take it who wants to be educated.
yeah, you don't have to be a coach.
No,
but
it's for anybody. It's for anybody. We made it totally applicable to anybody to take. It's for your information and your education, and we're keeping it up to date. With more that we
Right.
learn, the more that we update the course, and it improves your chances of sticking to the lifestyle because you really learn why.
and helping yourself, loved ones, or a neighbor, whatever. But in the room, this is unique because people are showing their before and afters. People are very excited about what has happened to them. They start posting that they were in a 3X, now they're down to a 1X. Their
Right.
blood sugar is regulated, their cholesterol's
It's
normal.
wonderful.
You know, you're beginning to see certain things that give you hope if that's where you are today. So that support and accountability, the support is everything. And most people, when they've gone so far, I mean, we deal with people that are in the 500, 600 pound range.
400, 500,
Yeah,
600.
and you know, there's such a chronic situation going on of 27 different programs trying to get yourself back to normal, and they can't, and every time they lose, then they gain it all back and then some. It's painful to watch, and it breaks our heart. I mean, we see it, especially we're dealing with a lot of globesity. Globesity is all over the globe now.
Yeah, it's
obesity.
epidemic. It's epidemic. And
So
it's not
with
going to
this-
get better anytime soon.
This Flush Your Fat for Good has been designed to be there to hold your hand, to help you through it, to teach you. We have phase 1 and phase 2. And phase 1 is it's like boot camp. It's a habitual ritual that you will go through and learn. You're not going to crave, you're not going to starve, you're going to sleep better, think better, you're going to have better moods, optimal digestion, absorption, and elimination, and rapid, safe fat loss.
Right.
But you're learning, almost like an infant again, how to feed yourself the way you should have been fed since you were weaned. And once you get that down, then we take you into phase 2.
Not to mention, you learn about food. We teach you all about food so you don't have any question. We don't want to be here forever to hold your hand. You need to, we need to have you grow up and go on your own.
Well,
but the other thing I
ahead.
want to mention real quick is what we recommend very strongly is if you are planning to commit and get on Flush Your Fat for Good lifestyle and try it, get a buddy. Get someone to do it with you. It's so important. Plus, you have us. You have the room. You have, all the support you need. We have a call on Wednesday nights. But you, if you're married, or you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're
Sister,
a couple,
brother.
sister, get that person that you know, your neighbor, anybody, to do this for at least 2 months with you. They can do this for at least 2 months just to get it started. We have a gal, she lost, I think, 60 inches, I think. She lives up in Alaska, I think. And she got her husband to do it. She says, I just need you to do this for 8 weeks with me. I just need you to commit and do this. I'm going to make the food. I just need you to eat the food, and you lose the weight. And he did. He says, okay, I can do that. I can do that. He was very athletic. He was, in college, he was a real big athlete, and he still worked out and things like that. And he was very active, but he went on it. She lost a ton fat and started to feel better. She was able to get on the floor with her kids again. But he lost, I think, the equivalent of to like 30 pounds. You know, he really slimmed down, and he got leaner, and his workouts were so much better, and he felt so much better and slept better and more energy. He says, I am never going off this.
Well, the buddy system is part of,
It's
you
powerful.
can't do this by yourself.
No.
Very, very few people can. I designed this lifestyle, and therefore I was able to do it because it was through divine intervention
Right.
that it was given to me. And I was coming out of a tragic, horrific situation, family situation. And I was in, you know, the vortex.
She came out of the fog
Yeah.
when her situation was better, and she just woke up and said, oh, she could see in the mirror.
I
You could see
panicked.
clearly in the mirror. You couldn't see
Yeah, you know
yourself.
when you're going through a tragedy or a
Yeah,
horrific
you're just-
situation, your eyes don't
have
really
tunnel
see.
vision. You're
You're
stuck.
only focused on what you're trying to do, like save a life.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is, it was a no-brainer for me that
Right.
I am absolutely going to be staunch. I am hardcore. This is the way it's going to be because it was downloaded into my
Well-
brain. But at that point, that's the commitment you want. You want to never look back. You cross that bridge, you never look back. If you truly want to get lean and healthy for life, you have to do flush your fat for good.
It helps when a voice in your ear goes, Jackie, you know what to do.
I went,
I do.
No.
So of course she knew she had a buddy, so
You-
she went
yeah,
ahead. Okay, let's move on with
go
this.
ahead, and then I
Okay.
want to read this.
The next thing is I can't make this change alone. We covered that. So we take care of all of that. I mean, it's covered, okay?
Yep.
You don't have to worry about that. I don't like physical activity. Well, when we say our seventh pillar is exercise and sleep, we don't say go to the gym for 3 hours like you were told to do many times before on diets, and how to lose, expel the calories, you lose the weight, burn the calories, you
Yeah.
lose the weight,
old.
exercise for 3 hours, and then you can go eat your chocolate cake. That's not how it works,
Right.
okay? We recommend, and this is through science in different continents. The science has been done on more than 1 million people, long term, over longitudinal, which means lots of years. The best exercise is walking.
Yep.
Walking 30 minutes 5 times a week is ideal, but if you can't, in the winter now in the snow, there's blizzards, and even in the summers, if it's too hot, you do what you can, or you get on a treadmill, whatever you have to do. Walk in place, walk around your backyard, take up swimming, whatever. But walking is what we recommend, and that is done 30 minutes 5 times a week is ideal. It's minimal,
Right.
but
There's
an activity.
when you get into our Facebook page
Yeah.
and you go into the files,
Yes.
we actually have some videos that have been chosen for working out at home, simple for people that are homebound, for people that are older and they can hold on to a chair and do certain things, or it's snowing so bad you can't get out, and a lot of people wind up driving to in the winter snowy areas. They drive to a mall and they'll walk.
Yeah, you can walk
a
the
lot.
mall.
Whatever it is, you have to be creative, but you have to do it because you want to get the lymphatic system moving. You want to, start revving up your body to start burning up the fat. But also, exercise is great for your cardiovascular system, for your elimination
It's great
system.
for everything.
Everything.
And if you're one of those that haven't lost enough of the weight for your knees to get up on your feet and walk, you can just walk in place, sitting in a sitting position. Even if you're not able to get out of the bed, you can get on the side of the bed and just bring your legs up and down.
Right.
Move your arms. Activity. You just need activity, and do it for as long as you can in a session. Even if it's 10 seconds. You start with 10 seconds, you go up to 20 seconds, whatever you have to do. And you can get, we recommend you getting the resistance bands also.
Those are great. Resistance
Those are great.
bands.
You can do those. You can get the little weights very inexpensively for a few dollars.
And you can do some isometrics, where
Yes.
when you're just standing at the kitchen,
Exactly.
and or you can put
Or
your
walk
leg
in
back.
place.
Put your leg back and stretch your calves
Yes.
and bring it back up. You can bend your knee forward and then pull it back, but also you can stand straight and tighten up your tummy muscles.
We even put some bed exercises for the people in bed.
Homebound.
Bedbound.
Bedbound.
Yeah, there's some exercises they can do. So it's called activity, but until you can get to do the walking, you just have to be active. Plan it in the day. If it's 10 minutes, all you can do, just do it. It's one of our pillars. It's recommended that you do that every
and you
single
feel
day.
better when you do.
At least 5 days a week. Okay, next, I don't like healthy foods.
Wow.
That's so BS. That's not true. I mean, come on.
Wait, even the
kids
the kids.
The kids cry. They'd steal it out of the refrigerator.
No, that happened. My son was having a party, and they all left, and somebody had been drinking, and she goes, "Oh, I'm so tired." And my son said, "Well, are you leaving now?" And she goes, "Yeah, but I'm so hungry before I leave." And he said, "Well, just go into the kitchen and find whatever you can." And I just made the greatest batch on the planet of Jackie's chicken salad. And she took the whole thing. She knew it was there. And some of my son's other friends come in, "Jackie, did you make your salad yet?"
And we hear from buddies all the time, I have to hide my portion of the chicken salad because my kids eat it. The little ones, they go in and eat it.
But here's what they're saying, I don't like healthy foods. It's because the healthy foods that have been presented to them,
vegan.
No, it just tastes like crap. It's like fruits and vegetables that aren't vine ripened or organic.
True, that's true.
It tastes like bleh. I mean, I don't like those. When they, overcook the vegetables and it's garbage and there's no nutrients in it. Certain, meats and things.
Well, this is.
But here, what I wanted to say is that the junk food that they're used to, they're addicted to.
Right.
So naturally, when you're on Flush Your Fat for Good after 72 hours, you can live without sugar. You don't care about starch. You're not even interested in some of the old junk food. If you're a real junk food junkie, it might take you a week, and then you're going to be shocked when you go over to some bakery or into the grocery stores and where you used to go to get all that foods that you liked, which was junky, you're not interested.
Well, the kids won't eat vegetables unless they're ripe or unless they're, if they're sprayed with chemicals. I know I can't. If they're gassed, if vegetables and fruits, even organic ones,
yeah, but the kids don't know. You're so sensitive. You're a canary in the mine.
But the kids too. If they are picked green, the kids know it and they won't eat it.
They'll taste it.
But I can. We hear it or see it all the time in the Facebook room that our buddies who just get started, they say, "Okay, tonight, wish me luck. I'm gonna make dinner with Jackie's chicken salad or Jackie's Brussels sprouts
or
garlic,
the turkey soup.
or
they
the
love
turkey
the
soup." And then they come back the next day. Everybody loved it. It was unbelievable. It was good. We ate it all.
I have a client that just took it on the plane down to Mexico and fed her whole family.
But you don't overeat and you don't undereat. We don't put those limits on you either. This is so.
No, when people say, "Oh, well, how many
easy.
calories can I have?" Or, "You know what, that goat yogurt and nuts taste amazing. How many can I have?"
Yes.
As much as you want. Because we train the brain. It trains the brain. We only have a few minutes left. How are we doing? Because I want to...
I'm done.
Oh, okay. The only thing I wanted to say real quick...
Have Sam put that up?
Yeah. Sam is going to put up this chart here.
He's been waiting all night. Thank you, Sam.
Sam's the man.
He's our man.
Okay. The difference between these two people is what they eat. And you are what you eat. Actually, it's gotten down to you are what she ate. Because if you're pregnant, whatever you're doing is going to go to the kid, and that's the way you start the kid out in life. But if you are the obese or overweight person, you eat mostly refined foods. 45% of calories from fat, 42 teaspoons sugar intake daily.
Oh my God.
That's a powerful appetite
true.
stimulant. 4 times more heart attacks, 4 times more sugar diabetes,
See?
more arthritis, more sleep disorders, more depression, more cancer, more doctor visits, more allergies, requires 100 miles of new blood vessels per pound of fat. Wrap that around your brain and look at what's happening here. More foot problems. You have no idea how many people suffer with foot
and knees.
More gout.
Yeah.
Shorter life expectancy. Now, with somebody who winds up eating fruits and vegetables whole, and they didn't put this on here, but it really should be sprouted grains and legumes, which are beans, but in phase 2 we eat the beans. Benefits are more self-acceptance.
Yep, you feel and look better.
Yeah. Fewer accidents.
Yep.
Longer average lifespan. Less heartburn. That's a biggie. Higher energy level and increased virility in men. So you can eat your way to a healthier life.
So healthy habits cost too much.
No.
Look at that list.
Healthy habits, you save money.
Put money in the bank.
I want to tell you that we have in our storefront of our website, we have starter kit number 1 and starter kit number 2. Starter kits is all the charts and the workbook along with GLA and CLA. And starter kit number 2 is everything without the GLA and CLA, and we recommend GLA and CLA. These are essential fatty acids that really help to start you to lose the fat.
And move it and burn it.
Yeah, move it and burn it.
Yep.
We have, as we were saying earlier, a coaching course that's great because you can learn. You're going to learn more than anybody knows, and you'll just feel confident with not only with yourself, but if you want to help others. And what am I missing? I think that's about it.
Well, you know, the word...
And our book.
Yeah, our book's there too, but
Yeah.
it's also on Amazon.com. And it's a fantastic book, honest to God. I mean, I wouldn't say that, but this is jam-filled. And our biggest compliment is people are reading it like a novel. They can't put it down.
Can't put it down.
It's because it's our life work. It's all that we've done. It's fantastic. It's exceptional. It's different. And thank you.
And if you
all
do
for
buy it on
buying
Amazon, we want some reviews.
5-star,
we go
please.
back. We'll pay you. No.
we won't do
But
that. Right?
and also on the website, there's 23 videos. We have over 100 audios. Our podcasts are there as well. So it's a great website to go to keep you engaged.
And you can go to our website and rent
Our
video
movies,
for the
yeah.
day. Jackie's chicken salad.
You'll see
You'll
us in
love
the
it.
kitchen.
It's fun. You'll love it. You can see all those videos.
But
and
if
rent
you
them.
see it once, you know how to make it. So
Yeah,
it's really
it's
a
easy.
tutorial, you know.
Well, I think that's the end of our show.
Thank you guys for joining us. Until next week, eat healthy, take care of yourself, and God bless.
Bye, and don't forget to buy the book. Amazon.com.
You're listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.